Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel, Stitches with Love. My name is Elizabeth, and this is my little corner of the world where I share all about my knitting adventures on and off the needles. And today I have nothing off the needles, but I have a few things that are getting close. I have made my final decision on what knitting I'm taking with us this week to camp, and I have a new cast on I want to talk about as well. So if you're interested in any of that, grab your project. If you're working on anything, grab a cup of something to sip on. I have some cold coffee. I have already microwaved once. It's disgusting, but I'm going to suffer through it because we can't waste coffee around these parts. Let's get started, shall we? All right, so the first thing, since it's already in my hands, I want to talk about is this project. So I have been looking at this knitting kit for several weeks now. It popped up in my Facebook feed, and I don't usually purchase the things that pop up in my Facebook feed because different reasons. It's either something that I don't see as a priority purchase right now, or it's something I don't really need, like makeup, or it's just, for whatever reason, not really something I need to be purchasing right now. But this kit has popped up several times with its advertisements, and I went ahead and looked into it just because I was curious about it. Really liked the pattern. I loved the colors, and it's actually the type of garment I've been thinking of making for a little while. So I went ahead and I looked into this. It's called the Venice Tee. Venice, as in the city in Italy. Venice Tee. And it's made out of 100% cotton. It's got a nice, loose, soft work up to it. So it's nice for warm weather wear. And it came with everything I need. So I didn't need to worry about making sure I had needles that were available. It came with the notions. It came with the pattern, everything I could possibly need. And then because I was a new customer, there was also the ability to have a special coupon code. So, including the shipping, I think this kit cost me around $62, which sounds like a lot. And I was a little weary about that too, because for me, and what I'm typically willing to spend on a project, that's a pretty sizable amount of money to spend. But here's the thing, I don't very often buy large amounts of yarn like I would need to do for a sweater. This yarn kit also came with the pattern and the notions and the needles, everything I would need to work up this project. And then I got to thinking, if I bought the pattern separately and I bought the yarn separately, and if for some reason I needed to buy the needles, it would work up to probably right about the same amount of money, if not more. So I felt like it was justifiable for that reason, but also because it's something I've already been planning to make. So I was comfortable making that decision, but it was not a decision I made quickly. Like I said, I looked at this kit for quite a while. And I really had to think about whether or not this was something I wanted to commit to. And then I made my decision after taking time to really think about it. So let's talk about what comes with this project kit. It comes with these beautiful wooden needles. It says, "We are knitters." It might be kind of hard to see, That's the name of this company. We Are Knitters. It has a really nice taper, really sharp points. It looks like a giant golf tee, but it's very smooth. I've really enjoyed working with them so far. Wooden needles are not in general my favorite type of knitting needle to work with, but I actually have liked these so far. I like the way that they get into the stitches. The yarn is not super splitty. It was a little bit of a challenge to start getting everything casted on, but now it's fine. I really don't find that to be an issue like I thought it might be. Some cotton yarns in particular are, or plant-based fibers really, in my experience, are kind of a pain to work with because they're splitty, they're tangly, they're different than working with like an animal-based fiber like wool. But really, this has been really easy to work with and really enjoyable. It's a size 8, 5 millimeter needle, and I think it's a worsted weight yarn. Let's see, what does it say? It's 100% cotton, and the yarn is a 5 in weight, which is around a worsted weight, maybe a little heavier. But because of that, it's going to work up very quickly. Also, because of the type of yarn and the way that the pattern is, the way it's constructed, the way it fits, the size of the needle, I chose to go with a size smaller than I would normally wear because I know that once I start wearing it, it's going to stretch and move with my body. It's going to drape differently than the wool blends that I typically would use or an acrylic that I might use for a garment. And so, based on what I already know, both about my own body and shape and the way that my knitting works up, I felt really comfortable with that decision. So, this is the size large. There are 98 stitches. This pattern has 2 identical pieces that are worked up and then seamed together to make the garment. I am almost done with the first color section. I'll show you what the pattern looks like in just a moment. But these are the colors I chose. I wanted something that matched kind of my aesthetic. And while I do wear a lot of bright colors, I didn't really want a brightly colored top to wear. I wanted something that would go a little bit more with what I have in my wardrobe. So I picked these 2 colors. This is the natural color and this is pearl gray. They look pretty similar, but I really like the way they look together. And I think for me, it'll go with a lot more of what I own. So it will get a lot more wear and love and attention than something that maybe wouldn't go with as much. I labeled each one of the yarn colors because they're so similar. So this is color A, this is color B. It'll make it a little easier, I think, when I go to work the next color section. And then when you order this kit, the pattern is emailed to you so that you can print it out, which I have done here. I've highlighted the instructions, and then it comes in several different languages. Since I speak only English, that's the pattern I printed out. And then if you want a digital copy, it also comes with the QR code so you can download it and have a digital copy as well. It's called the Venice Tee. This is what it looks like. And I just fell in love with it as soon as I saw it pop up. But I had to really think about the commitment it was going to be, because even though it technically is a very quick workup, I don't really have a lot of time to just sit and knit normally. So in addition to the needles and the yarn and the pattern, you also get what you need to put the garment together. Dorito, what do you see? Is there something in there? You're being so silly today. I think Dorito found something. So it comes with a couple of tapestry needles in different sizes, different lengths, I mean, and a little garment label I can sew in when I'm finished. I thought that was really clever. And then I think that is it. So that's going to be my bigger project. I don't know that I'm really going to work on it too much, but we'll see. It won't make very good car knitting, I don't think, because these are straight needles and they're long. And when I'm working up something on straight needles, particularly when they're really long like this, you can see there's just a lot of space that's required to move them around. So when I'm sitting in the car, the car door is over on this side, and then my husband is over on this side, and he thinks it's important that he also have room for his arm. And I should probably take that into consideration. So this will probably get a lot more work done when we're actually at the campsite or we're around the fire or whatever. Now, the projects I've settled on for taking with me, my husband had a really good idea, as he often does, about what to take, because I really just wasn't sure. I have a lot of projects on the needles, but I'm not working on all of them right now. So he suggested that I pick a few of my projects that I've started that I wanted to finish. In this case, it's pretty much mostly socks. So I'm going to take the Musselburgh hat I've been working on. And then I'm going to take this pair of socks. This is the second sock of the pair that I'm making. And the goal is to at least finish the gusset section. And if I can get through the gusset section this week, that would be great. And then I am going to be taking another pair of socks that are also almost finished. Let me put this back in there so I don't leave it behind. And then the other pair of socks I'm taking that I'm hoping to finish, or at least make decent progress on, are these. This is the second sock of the pair, and I'm about halfway done on the foot. So I'm fairly confident I can make good progress on this pair and the other one. We'll see. Hi, Felix. What you need, buddy? You're thirsty? Please don't drink out of my water cup. But if you give me a moment, I will get you a water cup.
You want a candy?
No, I don't want a candy. But thank you for offering. That was very thoughtful. Mwah.
That was a big nose push.
That was a big nose push. Give me just a moment. I'll get you some water, okay, buddy? All right. And then, because I'm really anxious to get these started, I am going to go ahead and take my watermelon socks. That's what I'm calling them because that's what the yarn is. And I'm thinking I might try to do these 2 at a time because I'm crazy. 2 at a time is really not my favorite method, but I really want to learn how to do it and do it well and correctly. So I'm not going to be able to improve my skills if I'm not willing to try. So it's already wound up into 2 separate balls. I've got my stitch marker in here. I've got my needles in my other bag, and we'll just see what happens. I think that's about it as far as the knitting goes. We have everything already figured out as far as what's getting done while we're gone. We have one neighbor that's going to come over and feed Dorito, give him some love and attention. And then we have another neighbor that's going to come over and just make sure the garden is watered and picked so that nothing goes to waste. So I'm very grateful for that. And I think that's it. We leave tomorrow. We're almost done with what needs to get done. Really, we just have the packing into the car. Everything is packed. We just need to take it from the house and put it in the car. And then off we go. I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be good to get away. I'm going to try to do a video while we're away camping, just because I think that would be really fun. But if not, then I will see you when we come back. Until next time, whenever that may be, happy knitting, happy Wednesday, and God loves you very much. Bye.